Welcome to the State of the Market with knowledgeable realtor Scott Zaino. Sit back and relax as Scott lifts the curtain on Cape Cod's real estate stats. Buckle up and let's dive in. This is your monthly State of the Market report.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to another State of the Market for September 2025. So, we're going to go through our normal sectors as we usually go through our average sales price, active listings, days on market, months of supply, and we will be talking about the interest rate. So, let's go right ahead and jump right on into September. September was a fabulous month. September is one of my favorite months. The weather's great. It's not too busy here on the Cape. Traffic slows down a little bit, and you can actually get an appointment to go to a restaurant, right? So let's just jump right on into it. Let me share my screen. We're into October now. All right. So the average sales price, let's see here. Average sales price is 1,136,488. And for any of you who watched last month's State of the Market in August, I always like to go back a month or two, right, to kind of get a little baseline of what's been happening. It was 1,017,000. So in 1 month, that's right, in 30 days, the average sale price here on the Cape went up 111,000. 111,000. That's quite a bit. So now that those interest rates are a little bit lower than they have been in the past, right? Perhaps maybe this is the time to jump in and find that piece of property that you've always been, dying to grab here on the Cape. So let's go for active listings, right? So these are homes for sale. So in September, the end of September, we're at 1,047. Um, and I'm going to just go back to 5 years ago because this was an important slide for before COVID. So COVID was right here in March of 2020. We had 1,990 units. Today, we have 1,047. So said this before in the past is we have 50% less inventory than we had before COVID or right around COVID, which is 5 years ago. If you take my cursor here and you see that we were bouncing along the bottom of the ocean floor here, at times we were down to 400 units. So when you hear that inventory is up, I agree, it is up. However, it's still 50% less than what it was 5 years ago or before COVID. However, I am seeing some fantastic buys out there. We are hooking up our clients with some amazing properties, great prices, a little bit of wiggle room on some of the prices and some of the houses, not all of them, but majority, and they're very happy. The longer you wait, I'm afraid the more you're going to end up paying for these properties. I just showed you the last screen. It went up over 111,000. That's crazy in just 1 month. So for homes on sale, homes for sale today, we're sitting at around thousand units. All right. That's up about 55 properties from August. All right. So let's go into days on market. All right. So this tells us how many days it usually takes on average to get your house under contract. End of September was 58. So we can almost call that almost 2 months, right? 30 and 30. In August, it was 48. So we've picked up 10 extra days from August to September, which means the houses are taking an extra week longer in September to close or to get an offer on your property versus August, right? So we picked up an extra 10 days. So homes on average are sitting a week longer than they were in August as they were in September. In September, we're at 58 days, which is an increase of 10 from August. All right, months of supply. So this one here tells us how much inventory we have before we run out of homes, right? No different than going to the supermarket and seeing, you know, cans on the shelf, right? And there's only so many cans of, string beans or whatever it is that you're looking at before you run out, assuming the grocery store didn't load the shelves anymore. So assuming we got no more houses on market, 3.5 months of supply before we run out. That's another term is called an absorption rate. All right. We've talked about this in the past, and anything under 4 months is still considered a seller market. However, like I said, we've been hooking our buyers up with some great properties, and it's still considered a seller's market, but buyers are still doing very well out there. Um, 4 months is a seller's market. We talked about that before. 5 months is a neutral or slack market. And then anything over around 6 months is a buyer's market. And the last time that we were in an actual legitimate buyer's market was obviously before COVID, right? 4.8 months, five months of inventory. The percentage to list price sales ratio. So at the end of September, it was 97.8. So if you were asking $1 million, the average percentage of list to sales price ratio means that you would most likely get an offer for 980,000, 97.8% of list price. In August, it was 97.8, and in September, it was 97.8. So it's been about a wash on the list to sales price ratio. So there are some homes that I'm seeing, that are less than that, maybe 96 or 97, depending on the condition, the layout, and if it's got any functional obsolescence, right? Because not all homes are built the same, and some have better flow than others, things like that. But 97.8, almost 98% list to sales price ratio is where we're at on offers coming in. Um, let's go back and let's talk about interest rates. I'll stop my screen share. There we go. All right. So interest rates have been a big topic over the last few weeks as the Fed did make an adjustment on some basis points. And so for interest rates, um, we have been seeing more people come out and do more shopping, and more doors are being opened, right? As the interest rates, come down a smidge. We would like to see them under 5.9. That would be great. 5.5 would be even better. But for now, let's talk about a 30-year fixed. So in August, they were at 6.5. In September, they were 6.3. All right. So there was a little bit of adjustment there, a couple tenths of a point. 15-year fixed. So in August, it was 5.7, and September is 5.6. All right. 30-year Federal Housing Administration. In August, it was 6.6. In September, it was 6.6. All right. 30-year Veterans Administration. Thank you, all your veterans, for your service. We're doing a VA loan right now, actually. One of our clients is doing 100% financing. So he put a small deposit down, $1,000, then another deposit on the P&S of around 10,000. And at the end of the day, when we do all our closing, all that money is going to come back to the buyer. So that's an amazing way to purchase a property with no money down if you qualify for VA. There are some guidelines, but they're pretty easy to meet. So that was 6.7. Today there's 6.2. 30-year jumbo last month was in August anyway, it was 6.6. Today it's 6.4, and you need to finance around 750, maybe 800,000 to qualify for a jumbo loan. So there you have our state of the market for the end of September. Real estate market is still very brisk, very robust. Lots of buyers out there. There'll be even more if they drop the rates. Here's a quote I was told: there's 5.5 million buyers standing on the sidelines. Once they drop those rates under 6%, over 500,000 of those 5.5 million buyers will be able to qualify and buy a home, right? So the urgency on the interest is to, yes, get it down as low as we can, and let's get more buyers um, the ability to purchase a home. So thank you so much for watching another State of the Market ending September. We appreciate you all. If you have any questions, give me a call at 508-566-0051. Shoot me an email at sjzaino@gmail.com. Thank you and have a great day.